Welcome back, everybody. It's Austin here with Super Robot Wars Archives. Today we are playing more Super Robot Wars R. This will be our first scenario back from our route split. We have a lot of stuff to go over. Let's take a look. I think we did at the end of last scenario. We put some of our funds into the Combattler more, giving it more HP and energy. We can definitely finish that up. What's that? 8,000, 26,000. So we need like 30, 32,000, 34,000 at the end of the scenario. I think we can manage that to finish up its defensive upgrades. That's all we got for money. We scrubbed out there and let two of the bosses retreat, so we just did not get a lot of funds from last scenario. We missed out on like 40,000 money, which is a shame. I apologize in advance if I miss some stuff. We had to like repart everybody because of how the route split worked, and we're gonna need to do that again after this one too. So the Combattler was given both of the HP, our best HP and armor upgrades to keep us really tanky. The Voltase V then got our next best too. I'm going to deploy the Ditarn for this scenario, mostly because of its die tank mode that we don't get to use that often. I don't like have a much better choice. We gave it some armor and some energy. I never actually put the parts back on, the support parts back on our other battleship. What else did we do? The Neo Getter got its solar panel back. We gave it, it ended up getting a worse armor part, an armor part, because we gave that armor to the Voltase, which is fine. Eventually it'll get one of the good armor pieces, but for now it's going to be sticking with the basic chop-in armor. I moved the shuffle badge, the shuffle crest, to the Gundam Rose just because I keep complaining about not having enough morale to get the map attack early, so I think that's probably a better choice. I think Domon's hyper mode is better, but we're so seldom ever getting there, and I think Domon's hyper mode is better than George's super mode. I think it gives Domon more, but we care more about the map attack, if that makes sense. And I also gave him the other solar panel that we got, just because we want to be spamming energy attacks with him. A lot of we want to spam attacks with him. His map attack also takes energy, and we want to be able to restore that. Then for the rest of this whole page is just the G Gundam pilots. The Bull Gundam is at this point probably fallen off, but the Maxter, the Shining Gundam, and the Dragon all got the +5 movement, or the +5 mobility parts. We also gave +1 movement to Domon with the Apogee motor. I guess we do still have movement left. I am gonna put that onto the Aphrodite whenever we get to her. The Diana. I'm gonna keep calling it the Aphrodite. I'm so used to this game starting you with the Aphrodite and then giving you the Diana later. We're still gonna keep using Sayaka because of the blessing she gives, despite the fact that she can't fly. I think I mentioned this before, but I would switch pilots if I was allowing myself that, but I'm not going to for the sake of having a more like typical playthrough if you're playing this game. We'll still use the Boss Boar. The Boss Boar's getting force deployed anyway, so that's fine. The Excellence is getting force deployed. We're gonna get a new frame for her. She keeps the parts that she's always been using. I've moved the Minovsky craft over to the Carrot to get it into the air, and just like super loaded it down with movement. I think a number of people might advise movement other places, but I really like movement on my healers in this game. I think I've noted that we start very far away from a lot of the action, but one extra movement I don't think is changing the number of turns we're getting there. If we committed all of our parts to it, maybe, but I think we're risking too much by not giving the units their defensive profiles that they need, or like support in the form of like the solar panels or something. It's like taking 2 to 3 turns to actually get to the action, and that's using like 5 to 6 move a turn. So we really we still maybe need that 15 to 18 movement, adding 3 on top of that is not changing enough. Where we're going, if it took us 3 turns with 5 movement, that'd be 15. With an extra booster, that would take us, that would be 12 movement. So we would be 3 shy still if we did that in 2 turns. So I'd rather have that on my healers to make them more flexible, because if we can't, getting a healer to someone that's going to die, I think matters a lot more in this game. Okay, the Neo Getter, the Diana, Rose, Combattler, Shining. This is the Airmaster. We're not going to use that this time. I don't think we're going to have space. Dragon, Maxter, Carrot. I said we were going to use the Ditarn, or is that still going to be true? I think we are still going to deploy the Ditarn, just so we have an excuse to engage with its mechanic. Boss does not want to be underwater. Okay, and here we go. Not that everyone has to be underwater, but we're very water-based in this scenario, as you can see. We do have 2 bosses. We have this, what's it called? It's the Dragon something? Dragonsaurus? Yeah, Dragonsaurus. And then the Fortress Demonica is back. The Fortress Demonica does not retreat, but the Dragonsaurus does. Also, if we destroy the Fortress Demonica first, the Dragonsaurus will also retreat. And this unit is also our flag for the scenario. Once we destroy the Dragonsaurus, or it retreats, that's when we're gonna move to the second half of the scenario. Do we care? Right, okay. This scenario also looks like it should be a defense objective, and it just is not, so we don't need to worry about where we're putting units early. The Nadeshko doesn't fire into the water particularly well, so we're not going to fly it over and try to get some pot shots off. It has a sea in water, so it's really not going to do any damage. Oh right, we can look at the Excellence Diver. A little bit more defensive than mobility. It's tied right now because we have the plus 10 mobility part on. We don't have a ton of attacks, but we need to. I don't like the Diver that much, if you can't tell. We don't have any post. We have a 1 range post movement, so we don't really have effective post movement until we hit to the 120 morale point. And 2 to 7 is not bad. We only get 10 shots of it though. If we can get up here, that's not the worst. But we're gonna switch out of the Diver pretty much as soon as we can. The one advantage is that it has an A in water. If you couldn't tell from being called Diver, I think this one's gonna end up being a little on the slow side as we wait for the pilots, the enemies to get over here. Fortunately, because both of our new super robots have very physical-oriented melees, they don't have like beams or sabers or anything. They're like hitting someone with an object. Those tend to have decent properties underwater, so they have A underwater for these attacks. Where like something like a beam is, I think, like ludonarratively diffused underwater, so it's going to be doing a lot less damage. It's going to be less effective. So I guess the Dragon Gundam should probably have decent... Yeah, I was going to say, they probably should have A underwater then, because the Dragon heads are solid. We're not, like, breathing fire out of them or something. How about the Maxter? Oh, we got A underwater. We got A attacks underwater, too. The downside is that they don't have... their profile underwater is not good. Not that it actually matters that much in this case, because... a lot of these enemies are flying. We could go underwater to get some extra defense out of it, but we don't need to. We don't want the Dragon Gundam blocking for that. You also never need to actually go underwater. It's really more of a defensive maneuver And like I want to take advantage of it because the terrain just does not matter for this game often. I do also just hate the visuals of what they do to you underwater. It looks so rough the way it keeps flashing like that. I'm actually curious about this. If I should like put a warning up for this, if this is like bothersome enough that it's like hurting people's eyes or like concern over seizure. I guess like please let me know if it is like hard to look at, and I can post something before these videos if they're going to be underwater a lot. We are at the juncture of the game where we can sort of just mash forward. We're definitely in the, like, collect things, get upgrades. Just, like, really fill out your team kind of section of the game. Not to say that the other parts aren't that, but there's a lot. I feel like early and later, more strategy is demanded of you, as opposed to now where... Considering the fact that they did give you just a ton of units back to back, and we're not quite done with that yet, they do want you to be able to, you know, not just have them like exclusively out of the box, that you can actually, you know, customize them a little bit. Let's. Okay, how far can the Freebion move? And I believe they only have a one-range post-movement option, so we can put the Carrot here to heal the Voltace. I also would really like if this game showed you the sub-pilots stat upgrades or like things they've learned. It's a real shame that they don't. You could theoretically check, but again, like, there's so many. Oh, it does not have a one-range post move. That's fine. We're not gonna have Carrot block that, and there's no reason to use the full power attack. Everyone's around here. We'll get it dead. Maybe I'm thinking of 2 and 3 in the complete box. I forgot how generous the targeting is. They really do go after like the units that you're like thinking of as the ones that defend. Right, like they've been attacking our like tankiest units. Actually, I guess this is worth saying. The Mazinger pilots did just arrive. I think a lot of times... Wait, does this have terrible movement underwater? That's a shame. Okay. I like that a little bit less now. Also, get the Bendo out of here. It's never going to get used. Wait a second. Is this like an exception to the rule? So typically if you have a... If you're good in water, that means you also have the terrain benefits of being in water. So to say, you don't have, like, you get to ignore the movement penalties underwater, but this tank has an A in water defensively, but it still takes the terrain penalties. But, like, the Getter does not. Oh my word, yeah, no, it super doesn't have the underwater, it doesn't have the water... terrain quality. Well, it was just a mistake to bring the Diturn with. That's okay. It's not like it can still be relevant above water. It just I brought it for its tank, like for the tank qualities, and it's just not gonna happen. We will send the Getter forward. This does have nice long range, though. I guess that's one advantage. We can just flash, and then Chibity will finish this off. We probably should also be fortuning here more than later. What's this looking like? We can have the Nadeshiko chip. Oh yeah, she's gonna get levels from chip. That's nice. That's good. And then... Oh, right, Domon doesn't have a support attack. That's okay. Can the Fredan get a chip in? The Fredan can get some chip in. That's chip. That's definitely something. I think the Kara can finish from here. Go Fortune. And let's do XP too. Let's do gain. Also, look at all these commands we have available to us. I know that's a fun challenge in these kind of games too, is how many different options can you get a unit to say? Is this enough? Just no, that's a little more than that. That's good. That's good. We'll give this to the dragon then. Yeah, we'll have the rose weaken it and then have the dragon take that. The enemies that show up later are... I guess that's actually probably true. You could probably just, like, you could safely say that the Gundam units and the Dendo units are, on the whole, less valuable money-wise than, like, Super Robot units tend to be. Is Dendo a Super Robot? Maybe I've been, like, giving it too much grief for, like, not being a good defensive unit, but, like, maybe it's just not supposed to be, and that's on me. I always read it as, like, a super robot, because it's, like, singular. We're not caring about counting ammo, per se. I think it's often how I describe a real robot series, is that you're, like, is part of what's happening in the story, you need to count the ammo you have left on ship. If so, it's a real robot. I know it's not just that. But it feels like an easy moniker for it. Oh yeah, so this is true for... Hold on, let's say the actual thing first. So notice that the Voltace and the Combattler got a rivalry bonus next to each other. The same would be true for the Massacre pilots, even though they're from later series. Well, I guess they do show up each other's ship, though. And for the Daitarn and the Zambot, they will get rivalry bonuses for being next to each other, even though they're not even, like, their media is not even in the same universe. They're just visually similar and from the same artist, author. Let's not spend anything if we can help it. Well, if we're gonna do that, then we're gonna spend a bigger one. I don't want to spend the energy yet. That puts us at half 2 for the hero. That's good. The dragon moves, yeah, okay. Okay, we are gonna use the yo-yo because that has a underwater. So if can we kill the Dragonsaurus this turn? Hold on, let's look at our map. Do we care about anybody else later? The Lagoo kind of matters a little bit. I'm trying to think whether I want to start burning the Daunts now. I think we will, because I also want the Shuffle Crest off of this a little bit more than I want the Multi-Sensor off of the Lagoo. Okay, let's start rocking. Oh, I guess we also don't have the, we don't have someone with... the word coming to mind is debtlessness, but that's not it. Dedication. Did we see that one of the... Yeah, that's what I thought. The Combattler has one to start, but that means we're losing access to a fortune. I don't think that's worth it. Do we have Daunt? And we also have that on the Voltace, but that's the same person that also has a fortune also. So no good there. She can chip here. I guess we can let the main character start damaging here too. Let's go for it. She theoretically needs kills, but we can worry about that in a minute. Dragonsaurus retreats at 5,400 HP. Oh, the Rose has Sea underwater, so the Rose can finish. This Gratonius? Yeah, Gratonius. We can... Sure, let's give him a blessing, that's fine. Cool. What's the die turn looking like? This will do 10 damage underwater because it doesn't... You see how there's a dash? Hold on, let's get my mouse in here. Mouse, there we go. See how there's a dash here for the water? I'm still allowed to make this attack, but if there's not a letter value, it will always just do 10 damage. That's not worth it. If it triggered a support attack, then 100% we would go for it, but... Okay, can we send the dragon underwater? No, it's not gonna be close enough. How about if we send Chibbity underwater? No. Can Domon do anything underwater relevantly? Oh, he can. Okay. We want to do this to get the support attack off of Guy. We'll persist that. And what's our morale looking like? Oh, we'll willpower. Not willpower, we'll spirit. It puts us into super mode. I don't think that, it doesn't change what attack we get to use, but... I don't believe that gives us any more stat benefits. But we may as well. Okay, where are we sitting? 1,100? That's fine. The rest of these pilots do not have support attacks. We can... Yeah, let's let the G Gundam pilots chip the rest of this. Because that puts it to what, like, a little under 10,000, 8,000-ish. Yeah. What did we say, 5,400? So we do 1,900 to this again. That's 67... It's 50. Okay, it's like 50. It's 5,800. Oh, we must agree with the 1,900. That's fine. I mean, this still is decently close. It's a shame that we don't have support attacks here. Who has the better long-ranged option? Oh, I forgot we have just a massive honkin' attack when they're paired. Okay, so whichever of these pilots can get a Valor and 2 Spirits off, then we're in the clear. No. Neither of them can. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. Okay, does the Dragonsaurus... The Dragonsaurus does heal, too. So we want to kill this turn if we can help it. Or here we can go 1, 2, 3. Okay, then never mind. We are going to save the Dragonsaurus until next turn. We'll move the Voltace V1 to the left. Oh my word, I just looked over at my monitor. You can't even see our units. You can see the enemy. but once they've stopped taking their turn, they're like coming in and out of existence. Oh no, that looks so. I don't know how to fix that. I think that's just the nature of how this game has decided to show things underwater. Oh no. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to watch through the OBS screen. Okay, so there it goes. We're gonna get the Combattler out of here so we can get the Voltace V in the Combattler spot to be next to, there it is, the Getter, because we can support attack off the Getter next turn, and the Voltace does have 3 range attack. So where is the Combattler going? Down there. You have a Fortune. Oh, just 1 shy. Okay. I wonder if the Combattler can get this on its own. We can probably do... This'll probably work, because we're also getting this extra damage off of... Oh, we're not moving them, though. We do need to move. Okay, we can switch to the Die Fighter, and that'll get us close enough. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. I just don't want to waste the Fortune if we can help it. We've got lots of things we can invest funds into, so. And you know what? Let's get ourselves some experience too. Here's a game. And that Giron is toast. Yeah, we needed that attack too. Okay. We didn't need the attack from the Die Fighter to help. We don't want to attack the Dragon Source. That'll send it into retreat range, and that would be a waste. So we're just going to move there and pass the turn. We will let Carrot heal. And we can send the Aphro into the water, the Diana into the water for 1 heal. And we'll get boss close to the peninsula. We are like moving down here really hard. I know that there's another stage, but that's how it's gonna have to be. Who else hasn't moved? Oh, the Getter still hasn't moved yet. That's unfortunate. Okay, well. I guess we could have gotten the Getter into a different position in respect to... No, this works out fine. This is what we wanted. Okay. And then the Fredan hasn't moved, and the Dendo inside it hasn't moved. Voltace will get attacked, and we don't want to shuffle that off onto the Carrot. We can counterattack, but not with a ton. It has already started to heal. This, on the other hand, we can attack with impunity. Okay. The dragon hit for 1,500 before. That knocks this down to 6,000. I think 6,000 is probably an acceptable range. And then turn off the support attack. Yeah. Okay. And then get the Voltace into the water. Valor up. Oh, right, because we're not close to the Combattler now. We don't get the other support. We don't get the other combination attack. But that's okay, because we can still... Where the Dragon Source is now, we can Spirit once... We can use the Spirit, and then we're getting double damage, double money. Where's double experience? Double experience, double everything. Move here. And then we attack with the support of the getter. Okay, we didn't even need it. That's fine. Perfect. There's a shovel crest for us. And we have some Dendo units showing up. Okay, so here's where it looks like we're playing a defense objective. So 2 of the Dendo's weapons, the Leo Circle and the Unicorn Drill, have now shown up. They're blue. I cannot move them. I don't know why they're blue. They could have just been yellow. If they get destroyed, that's totally fine. We don't actually need to defend them at all. We're just gonna let them do their thing. They will rush the enemy, and they will certainly take actions that do not prolong their life. And I think that's unfortunate. But that's how it is. Okay, let's get the G Gundam out of the water. Surprise, we have another unit here. The G Gundam, the Shining Gundam. Good gracious. I don't know why being in front of a microphone makes me babble so badly. Like, I used to be a teacher. I should be good at doing this kind of thing, but when I have a person in front of me that I'm talking to, we're golden. When I'm just looking at a screen, all formality is lost. Let's see if we take this Garrett down. Ooh. Overestimating our damage a little bit. That's okay. We'll let the Carrot clean up. I do just look like such a buffoon with all of the misplays of the fortunes. It's fine. Like, I don't mind looking like an idiot. It's really unfortunate. It just looks real shameful with how much of a waste it is. We will let, yeah, the Maxter go here. Get you out of plane mode. Do we have another blessing? I don't think on anyone that's left up. Yes, Sayaka's got him left. Who else has fortune? Suzaru and... Oh, do we want to use the getters yet? We've still got plenty left. I'm also acting like we can't kill the Fortress Demonica this turn. We probably can. Though we do have Suzaru's from the Combator left for that. Okay, let's see where that leaves us trying to kill the Fortress Demonica. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has a 5 ranged attack. Isn't, like, that feels like such a shame. That feels like such wasted potential. In that I really don't care what their attack ranges are. I just charge in. Like, it hit me and I don't even feel like I'm that disadvantaged by it. I swear I like this game. There could be some improvements. Let's get Domon out of the way. I also meant to persist there, not to focus, but that's okay. We're going too fast. I'm getting too riled up. Oh yeah, no, he's going down this turn. We still got Banjo. Can we also Spirit? We can. Banjo is very good. I'm not using him because he's bad. I would like to use something other than just all of the, like, stupid super robot. Oh boy. I didn't expect him to fully kill him. That's fine. That's 8,000 funds wasted. Okay, we'll give this to the Combattler. We get 5 movement, 5 movement. We get 3 movement at the cost of 5. You see what my brain did there. Okay, this situation is handled. We can now get the getter out of the water. Can we get the getter out of the water? We can get the getter out of the water and start sending it over to engage with all of the Dendo units. Fortunately, we're putting the 2 massacres away. I don't want to waste kills with them. Fortunately, all of the Dendo units fly, so we do get to they will come to us eventually. The Gulf of Soldiers will move first. The Orbitons and what legacy machine is that? Oh, no, sorry, that's the professional machine. The professional machine jam. Here's the last scary enemy, is the Lagoon. It's decently dodgy. And these two need to move. And it has some decent evasion. But it's also coming from his dodge stat at 142. I mean, we may as well potentially take a shot. So yeah, see, sometimes you hit on those. If the enemy can hit me at 20%, I can hit the enemy at 20%. Let's get the team all in. And then by the time we have the Lagoon largely sorted out, that will have us right in contact with the rest of the Dendo enemies. And they're really nothings of fights. They're on the stronger side of the generic enemies, but they are still, at the end of the day, generic enemies, so they're not going to pose that much of a threat. I really did not sortie well for this scenario. Who's hurt the most? Can we get up to the Voltace instead? Yeah, that's more experience because they're higher level. I did not sortie well with I keep acting like we brought the boss brought with, but we really didn't. They forced deployed us on that one, but he cannot help very much. We could have moved him into the water, but it's not efficient. We still get a focus, and then we can get a fortune. Well, we can use Saitaichi's fortune on one of the Gulf Soldiers or something. Yeah, that's good. Lagoon does retreat also at 6,000 HP. So let's be mindful of that, seeing as I've made it a habit of forcing enemies to retreat, or at the very least, leave on not the terms that I meant them to. We've got enough for a couple of bullseyes. Can we use it from... We can use it from Gaibo. We lose other fortunes if we flash, so we will just persist. And then we'll just eat one of these. That's fine. Okay, great. And the Lagoon is super dead next turn. So bring everyone in. Let's get them closer. Alright, who are we going after? The Dragon Gundam? That's totally fine by me. It does have an HP restore, but I don't think that's... Oh, we got our last one. Okay. Saitaichi has Valor now. I really thought he got Excel. Yeah, good job we don't need to defend this. I guess that is the one thing, is because they are a blue unit, they do count as part of our team. So if they do die, they trigger all of our units' personality bonuses. Or I guess debuffs. Sayaka is the only character in the game who loses morale when one of our people dies. I get it. I would be depressed if one of my friends died too. It would be weird if I was like, oh yeah, my friend died? Heck yeah, let's rock on. Fight better, team. Like, I don't think it's exactly that, but you get the picture. Yeah, it does have HP restore. Okay, cool. So, what did I say? I already forgot what I said it was. I could just do that math at 6,000. So, let's let the getter attack it again. We will bullseye again. Yeah, and that puts us like right in range. And then the Carrot has a juicy HP target. The cutting out of the way in which the audio cuts out whenever I take an action is just so strange. Okay, so we're gonna be a little goofy here. We're gonna move the Combattler. Actually, we should not commit to one of these yet until we know we have everything. We've got Fortune. We have Valor. Okay, we don't have Bullseye or Gain, though. Does the Combattler have it? We've got Gain. We don't have Fortune. We've got another Gain. We've got a Bullseye. We've got a Valor. Okay, does anyone have... Sayaka should still have Blessings left. Okay. We're going to put this on the Combattler. And then we're going to move the Voltace at a diagonal position and not attack. Because despite the fact that it can't join in for a support attack, it does still both offer its rivalry bonus, but it does offer the combined attack of the two of them. And we're going to use that to finish off the Lagoo, just to make sure. Valor. Bullseye. We don't need a defensive action. I would rather use Gain here, because we are unlikely to use any of these spirits anymore this fight, where we can still toss EXP bonuses on other people. Make sure we got everything. Yep, those are the 4. We're also probably not going to see this that often, so let me turn on. Let's turn on animations for this one. Victory. I do think this is really cool. Like, I think they did well with what they could do with the GBA. It is like a minute of a... It's like... these are really long cutscenes for these attacks, though. $14,000 damage. I think that's our first triple digit. I think that's our first 5-digit attack in the game. Could be wrong, but I think that's our first one. Someone's got to come and pick up the Lagoo. I really thought we had seen the unit that flew by to pick up the Lagoo. We will see again, and I really thought we had seen it in combat by this point, but we had not. I really thought it showed up earlier. These Galpa soldiers are fully undamaged. What are we looking at? 43 minutes. Yeah, the runtime of these episodes is just so much higher when I leave in even a quarter of the attacks. They take up so much time. And, like, don't get me wrong, they are cool. I have admittedly watched them a lot, so I'm a little weary of them sometimes. Well, I forgot to turn it off here, so here's another one for free. I also sort of glossed over this, but Sayaka did just get a very important spirit, which is one of the other reasons we wanted to keep her in the team. Well, we're not going to get to I don't think we're going to get to show it off, really. It's this one. I'll look up the name for it while the enemies are taking their turn. Spirits. It is Rouse. I think the audio's changed. Hold on. Oh, that's interesting. So I can still control the game if I'm clicked out of the screen, but if I am clicked out of the screen, it gives like half audio. That's so weird. Anyway, the spirit that Saka just got was Rouse. It will really cut into our ability to bless, but it's pretty good. We'll take this enemy phase to soften everybody up. And then I think all these Golfa soldiers will go down next turn. Oh, I keep leaving the attacks on. I'm not thinking. Well, I can't complain about seeing more Voltes. I believe the like in-game name for these is Goma. I feel like there's another name I've heard for those like tops on whips, and I cannot think of it for the life of me. Do any of you recognize that toy, and do you know it by a different name? I learned about it through Japan first. I'm sure it's probably a toy that exists outside of just Japan, though. That feels like a very easy like design to come up with culturally. I feel like probably a lot of different communities generated a similar kind of toy, if it's not exactly the same thing. Yeah, they're all... Shane, I don't think does... Oh, okay. Thanks for the help, Leo Circle. Really, really helped save us there. Oh, George does have a map attack available. That's 4. We take that. You know what? We're not even gonna bother getting the Combattler out of there. It'll be fine. So... Just someone remind me, you know, like 3 months in the past, to make sure we show off that spirit next turn, or next game. We definitely win. It's good. We probably should have used a game from the Combattler here, but it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Look at all that extra money. It wasn't even that much, because the Golfa Soldier's only worth 900, but it's better than nothing. Speaking of... Let's get the Carrot in here. Do we not get a support attack? Do we still don't have a support attack on the Combattler? We still don't have a support attack from the Combattler. We do from Sasaishi, though. Though I think I do we prefer the Maxsters at this point? We do. That's a little overkill from the Maxter. It's fine. We're not going to be here that much longer. Let's gain. I think the experience probably ends up working out the same in the end. We're getting it a little earlier, which I guess is theoretically better. It makes the scenarios easier, but I think we ultimately end up with basically the same EXP situation. We're just gonna put the Aphrodite on the Nadeshiko and have her head out next turn. Can we get that Orbiton down? I think we can. Yeah, easily. Can the main character... Oh, we do. We have reached the... We've reached the morale threshold where we are allowed to participate in combat. Good. I'm so glad. Well, given that, I think we can do a little... We can extend that a little bit more. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have to be Getter 2. If we're 1, we're stuck in the water. And I think 3's movement is too small. 1, 2, 3 to get access to... Oh, we can still do that. There's nothing else strong coming, so we may as well spend. Okay. Are we really going to Valor? Okay, we're going to Valor. Excel. Valor. Fortune. And gain. Destroy this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the Combattler will be just short. Who's got Fortune left? Saishi and the Voltes hasn't left. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We are still within range. So we can attack up here with the main character. I think we're just gonna... we probably could have saved this one for Saishi, but... Oh, we did! The Orbiton has just enough HP. I have been, like, overestimating the main character's damage a wee bit this whole playthrough. Definitely biased by the fact that they had my highest kill count from previous games, so when I was going through and recording stuff, they really had bloated stats. If you don't know, the New Game Plus for this game has you going through the exact same scenarios. You get to keep all of your upgrades. You have to get rid of all of your parts, but you also the pilots with the 10 most kills will also get stats equal to the inverse of that position. So like if you're in position 1, if you have the most kills, you will get 10 stats. If you're in... Oh, we don't have energy for it though. Okay, that's fine. Can anybody else? Chibity can get over there and he can do something, I think. Yeah. Stats. If you're in position 1, if you have the most kills out of every pilot on the team, you will get 10 points to all of your stats that will carry over through every playthrough in the future. And then if you're ninth, if you're second, you get 9 points, 8th, 3 points, so on and so forth. The game is generous though. In that, I don't get to use your map attack. That's fine. The game is generous though, because if anyone is tied, all of them occupy that position, but they don't disqualify a lower position. So you will always give out 10 and then 9 and then 8 and then 7. So if 2 pilots are tied for 200 kills and then your next pilot is 197, the 2 with 200 kills will both get the plus 10 stats to everything, and the one with 197 will get plus 9 stats to everything. It's really generous in that way. The Getters left? No. Okay, we can definitely soften. We can definitely soften the Professional Machine Jam up for the Getter. I'm not gonna bother with getting any gains on here for what little chip this is. I don't think it's that important. We will care about healing though. That's a lot of experience potentially. Nope. You can go out here. We can fly back to the Carrot. I do want to fly as far away as possible. If you're in the air, you spend an energy every time you move. So it's a really small difference, but it is a difference. It does add up. Okay, that's all for healing, and then the Getter needs to Fortune and gain. And destroy. And there we go. We come to the chop ham armor too. Very nice. I don't think there's anything we're missing like defensive points on right now that we care about. We might need that later. I don't think we will though. I'm gonna switch back and forth between the hero and the enemy music. Is there anything else important to say? Oh, I guess actually, yeah, we can't mash through this. I forgot. We leave the route split. We get one scenario where we're all together. We go back into a route split. I was thinking there was 2 scenarios, but there's not. Once we get to the route split decision, then we can start talking about what the differences are. I would start opening it up, but I know if I do, I'm gonna like not pay attention and then I'm gonna lose track, and we're gonna just mash into whichever the first scenario is. I don't want that. There we go. Okay, great. Open up the flowchart. All right, so we are choosing between the Nadeshko path. No, we already did that. That's not true. We're choosing between Fort Severin and Gear HQ. With Fort Severin, so that's this top choice. This here. Yeah, it's easier with my mouse away from the white text. This choice that were highlighted. I guess I could also do this too. Good job, Austin. The choice we're selected on right now is Fort Severin. We would get the Zeta Gundam, the double Zeta Gundam, Char's counterattack, Gundam X, the Gundam Wing, Combattler, Daitarn, Zambot, and the Getter. And with Gear HQ, we would get the G Gundam, the Nadeshko, Mazinger, Great Mazinger, Voltace, and unsurprisingly, the Gear Fighter Dentao. I think... Oh, that's tough. We're mostly using the G Gundam pilots right now. So I think it's a little more tempting to go to the gear path. Let's see what we're gaining out of items. Okay, for Fort Severin, we get 1 more propellant tank, 1 more repair kit, 2 cartridges. We get 1 fewer booster, 1 more beam coating, about 8,000 more funds, and 4 more kills. I was really hoping it was going to make it easy, and it was also just going to make the gear path be worth more, but it's not. I don't feel like I used the beam coating all that much. I think we're going to go with the gear path just because the G Gundam pilots are on it, and I would prefer to use them. Let's make sure we're clicked into this screen. That's such an annoying, weird little gimmick about this game that I have to be like selected on to like get full audio. That feels bad and wrong. Okay, cool. Well, with that choice, we are divided again. We're only going to be in this route split for 2 scenarios, and we're going to reunify again. We're going to go in and out a couple of times, but we'll be back together for a larger period. This upcoming playthrough, this upcoming section. So. Well, you get a chance to really use the Voltace now. I really thought the Combattler came on this side and the Voltace came on the other side. So we can't finish up the Combattler's defensive stats just yet, but that's fine. And then we'll go back to using the G Gundam. So the Bulk Gundam is probably back in. He keeps going in and out. And the Noble Gundam gets to show back up. Actually, let me make this change before I forget. We are going back to... what's the scenario look like coming up? You know what? I'll leave it on this screen so that... Oh, it's going to freeze on this screen. And I'll figure that out while we're between recordings. I don't want to let you guys sit here while I look at other screens. I got to figure out a way to like get these screens cast better. Right now, I'm just capturing the game. I'm not capturing this monitor. If I start capturing this monitor, other weird stuff happens. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong with my OBS. But if I could capture this monitor, I could then drag my other screens over so you can see what I'm talking about, and we're not just looking at like black and white text. So I guess that'll be homework for me between this playthrough. So with that, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you're sticking around. I mean, at this point, I don't think we're getting anybody new. They're not coming into episode 16 of this to watch it for the first time. Share some thoughts down in the comments. Always happy to talk as usual. Maybe we've been having great conversations and there's no need for me to say this anymore. Who knows? That's what happens when you record ahead of time. I do think my schedule is starting to stabilize a little bit. I'm starting to get a good pattern for this. So I think this will, I feel pretty confident saying this will be the only video that's going to, or the only video series that's going to be recorded this way. So we can get some more engagement going. But like starting out's always going to be weird. We'll figure out. You all let me know what you want to see. We'll figure things out in the comments for the next playthrough. Great. Well, we just crested the 1 hour mark, so I'll wrap this up before I babble some more. Again, thank you all for watching. Hopefully, we'll see you in the next episode, and I'll talk to you then.